Welcome back to Busted Knuckle Performance. The video today is the last weekend I've had to work on the vehicle for the Ocean City car cruise. The video starts out with a time lapse of me doing wiring. It was just a couple things I had to finish up on it, and then it goes into building the exhaust and putting it on. So hopefully you like the content. Like I said, I have like one more day to actually get the truck running and moving, and take it for a drive, make sure everything's okay, kind of like a shakedown run before we drive it 6 hours to Ocean City. So stay tuned. So I just wanted to show you guys I'm finishing up some of the wiring here. I got some of that wires I got to tape and, tape up so you don't see them and they're not just hanging in the way. Later on I'm going to go through this and make an actual harness for it, but this was just kind of getting it running here real quick. So that's what the exhaust is going to look like. There it is there. And then I just have it hung there. And then I welded all the pipes on after I cut them and stuff. Build brackets for them there so to hold the mufflers. But yep, that's what it looks like there. So I got to finish the front section here. So I got the one pipe mocked up, ready to go, welded. Goes up over the cross member here, right past the fuel pump, inline fuel pump I'm running. It's an AEM, but I plan on putting the cat like probably right here is where the cat's gonna go. There's enough room there. Plus, I don't want all the heat up here next to the shifting cables and the plugs and stuff, so I figured that'd be a better spot. I mean, there's nothing on this side, but over here it's definitely some clearance issues, so I'm just going to move them back further back on the exhaust system. Alright, just to show everybody, I got the exhaust ran, got the catalytic converter put on it, the exhaust ran back and actually tied into the mufflers. I gotta do this pipe yet, but yep, that's what she looks like. Right up to the headers. I also got the fuel pump mocked up. Everything's actually mounted and the lines are all ran and everything. Clean up to the back. In the back there, I just have the hoses sitting there because I got to put the bed on and cut a hole in the bed floor and run them up to the fuel cell. So I just have them sitting there for now. Ran up into the engine bay, so right now they're just sitting up through there into the engine bay. I actually got to pick up some fittings so I can connect it to the fuel rail tomorrow. So after that, I'll be able to install the bed and the fuel cell and get all the fuel lines ran, and then I'll be able to fire the truck up. So it'll be the first start, hopefully Monday. Alright guys, so this concludes like the last actual day I have to work on the truck to try to get everything done. Unfortunately, I did not get it all completed. There's still a couple odds and ends things that I have to get done in order for the truck to be drivable. I do have one more day to try to get everything completed on the truck to finish it. Unfortunately though, that is the day before I'm leaving. So the truck hasn't been started, hasn't driven yet, hasn't even moved around. I'm still trying to get everything together. What slowed me down and what issue I ran into, and I will talk to you about this, so that way if somebody has a similar build they're trying to do, they don't run into the same issues. Okay, so the issue that I run into is AN fittings. Okay, no auto parts store near here has any AN fittings. They don't stock them for some reason. Nobody uses them, but any aftermarket application where you use a fuel cell, you need AN fittings. Now the one issue is the last build I did, I ran into a deadline where I had to drive across the country. So I was able to actually get parts 2 days shipping through Amazon. Some of them are even 1 day shipping, depending on what they were. Since COVID happened, you can't get 1 day, next day shipping. It doesn't exist. So in order to get AN fittings off of, say, Amazon, I have to order them at least a week in advance. Well, the problem with that is you run into little things where you need extra fittings that you don't think that you're going to need them. So I ordered a bunch of extra fittings. Unfortunately, the one that I need, you just can't get. Like the only place that I seem to have found it was Nitrous Express had one, and it wouldn't be here till the 23rd if I ordered it, say, Friday. Which was the 14th. So it's like a 14-day window to get one fitting that I need. So what I did is I actually called Summit in Ohio. They have a store in Talmadge. Now they have a fitting that I'm going to actually have to use, but it's one end of it is a male 10 AN fitting and the other one is a 6. And the reason I need that is because up in the fuel rail, where it goes into the factory fuel rail, is a -6 adapter. So originally what I thought I was going to be able to get away with was getting a female 10 and into a male 6 and then build a little line.
Well, that doesn't work either because the AN fitting I have has a 10 barb on one end and a 10 flat on the other. So that won't work either because then the fitting is still loose and leaks fluid around it. So that's the issue that I'm running into, is just I can't get AN fittings in a timely fashion. So I'm actually going to go to Summit on Monday, which is tomorrow, and pick up fittings at the actual store. So I'm going to buy extra fittings that I probably won't ever use, but I'm going to buy them anyway. Just for the simple fact that, you know, if I ever work on a vehicle or I have to replace one of these lines, I have fittings to do it. So that's where I'm at right now. I can give you a brief walk around of the truck, so to catch everybody up. But sorry for the rant. It's one of them things. It really frustrates me because I wanted to have the truck running and moving by now, and at least have it out on the road to test it. I still didn't cut my coils yet or lower the front of the truck to match the rear, so it's about a 2-inch difference from the rear to the front. I was actually going to drive it that way. I know it probably looks stupid, but you know, that was my deadline, was to get the truck done. Just ran into some, you know, little issues here and there, but all right. Looks like right now I got the bed on it, I got the bed liner in, I got the fuel cell in place, I got the tires on the back. I still got to put the center cap on, but that's not a big deal. There's all the fuel lines laying underneath, waiting to come up through the floor there and hook into the fuel cell. So there's those fittings too. I'm going to pick those up tomorrow. So that's an 8 to a 10, and then right here's an 8 to a 6. And then I need a vent cap, just a single AN vent cap for my fuel cell. But yep, that's what I got going on right now. So I have the front tires on and everything. The engine basically wired and ready to fire. It actually cranks over. It just won't start because I don't have fuel to it. But yeah, everything underneath the hood's ready to go. It's full coolant, full oil. Transmission's full. The exhaust is all completed. Headers are done. Everything works. Just waiting on, you know, AN fittings. And here's the AN fitting that I'm running into an issue with, so I can show everybody. So what I did is I went ahead and ran a -6 line, and it just goes back there and ends. It's really hard to see. Hold on one second. Alright, so that's the AN10 coming up, and into these fuel rail adapters here, they're only a -6 line. So what I'm going to have to do is I built that -6 that goes back there, see it back there in the back with the fitting on it. So the piece I'm going to get is a male barb that goes into this 10 barb. And then once I tighten them down, then I'll be able to actually run the line to the, you know, the actual fuel rail to supply the engine with some gas in order to fire. So that's why it hasn't fired up or moved or anything yet. The transmission was rebuilt, so I don't even know if it's going to move. It's the first one I ever rebuilt, so I haven't even tested that yet. So the day before Ocean City, I'm literally going to be firing it for the first time and trying to get it moving. So I mean, wish me luck. Hopefully we can get it by the deadline. Like I said, I mean, I really ran out of time, but I have one more day to try to get the vehicle running, which will be even funnier because I have to drive to Ocean City the very next day. So that'll be interesting. A nice little shakedown run will be driving 6 hours. Yeah, just to show everybody the truck works and cranks over. There's a fuel pump. Battery sounds pretty weak too, so I'll have to throw a charger on that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Everything cranks over. Just waiting for some fuel for it to fire. Thanks for watching Busted Knuckle Performance. Hopefully the last day we get the truck moving and running. Take you guys for a little test drive, ride around in it, a little shakedown pass. I went ahead and removed the VAT system from the computer using HP tuners, so the vehicle will be able to be fired up and moved around as long as everything's good and I don't have any leaks in the fuel system. So stay tuned. Like I said, one more day. That'll be the next video, is the last day. Thanks for watching. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and comment below.